Good morning, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. My name is Kbaud TARI NEMI, and today I want to welcome as this is Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast. You are welcome. Sundays, beginning from the night that the Deus gave for us to follow and see to it that Biafra is restored and our leader is freed. You know, they say that the ways of the Spirit is not the way of man. Sometimes you may not understand how the Spirit works or the strategy of the Spirit. But what you should understand is that the strategy of God will always overcome man. And instead of you to sit in your houses and begin to ask unnecessary questions, it is easier to follow. Like in the scriptures, there was a particular man that was a leper. He was a great man in his country, a very powerful general. He has won many wars for his country, but he was still a leper. Then one day, somebody that cared told him there is a prophet in Israel that can cure you of this your leprosy. This particular general, this great man, he went to his king and told his king that he heard that there is a prophet in Israel that can cure his leprosy. And his king gave him permission and gave him a letter to take to the king of Israel. He took it to the king of Israel and delivered it to the king of Israel. The king of Israel, not being a prophet himself, he got angry and he felt like, is this man not calling for war? Why should he be bringing somebody for me to cure him of leprosy? Am I a magician or what? Am I a prophet or what? What does this man think of me? Why should he do this? While he was busy complaining, the message got to the prophet Isaiah. And Isaiah decided to send a message to his king, to the king of Israel. And he told the king, why are you angry? Bring the man here so that the world will know that there is a prophet in Israel and there is a God in Israel. Bring the man to my place. I will attend to him. And the king of Israel sent this particular general to prophet Isaiah. The general came with his gifts and all of it. Before he could get to where Prophet Isaiah was, Prophet Isaiah sent a message to him asking him to go to River Jordan to go and take his bath. This general became angry. He was asked, go to River Jordan and bathe in River Jordan 7 times, and you'll be okay. The man got angry and got pissed off. He was like, what does this man take me for? He couldn't even come out to greet me. What kind of arrogance is this? He was so pissed off. He was angry. He felt insulted that I have better rivers in my country. That dirty river, River Jordan, is that where you want me to go and bathe? What nonsense is this? Why? He's a man of the flesh. He doesn't understand the ways of the Spirit. Luckily for him, he has a servant that is wise. And the servant told him, Master, what will it take you to bathe 7 times in River Jordan? We may have better looking water in our country. But this is the word of the prophet. The prophet said, go and bathe in River Jordan 7 times. Dip yourself in the river 7 times. Let us just obey. At least let us do it. And the man took to the advice of his servant and they went to River Jordan. And he did as he was told of the prophet to do. And he got his miracle. His skin became as fresh like that of a baby. He was shocked. He was surprised. He came back with all his gifts, wanting to appreciate Prophet Isaiah. And Prophet Isaiah said, no, we don't do these things for money. You can go with your money. Thank you. This is the work of God. It is not for money. You are not paying for this. The gifts of God are free. You cannot buy it. You cannot pay for it. You can go. When this man was about going, Prophet Isaiah's servants that was serving under him, because of his greed, he said, how can this man go away with all these gifts? He ran towards him and lied on behalf of his master and said that his master sent him to get the gifts. At the end of the day, to cut a long story short, the servant inherited the leprosy from the man. And why am I analyzing this story? I'm analyzing this story because of the simple instruction that has been given by the DOS and the reaction of some people. Some of you are behaving like the general. Sometimes I go through some social media reactions and I see what some people write. Do not behave like that general. I am here now coming like the servant of that general, giving you an advice. What will it take you to sacrifice 1 day in a week for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Can you compare that to the sacrifices this man has already made? 1 day in a week, you cannot compare it to those that have died. 1 day in a week, you cannot compare it to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing right now under the DSS dungeon. 1 day in a week is even not enough. And some people are busy complaining. The question is, do you really want freedom? Do you want to be free? If you want to be free, then you have to understand that there are certain things that you have to do. 1 day in a week is all the DOS ask of you, and 1 day in a week you will give. Sit at home every Monday. If by the 8th of August, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been released. If because On the 26th, some people in Imo State, some traders in Imo State, decided to sit at home because of our leader. And the zoo army came and said, you will no longer go to work. You will no longer do your trade. I will close this market. Why would they react that way? They reacted that way because it is affecting them economically. And you have to be wise. You have to know that you have to look for a particular spot where it is going to affect these people the most. Even when the unknown gunmen are killing police officers, the zoo is not feeling it. These police officers are just ordinary men. They are following command. They cannot stop whatever is going on. They cannot stop the system. The people that can stop the system, they are not being affected. And it is none of their business. None of their business whatsoever. They are not being affected. How do you affect those in Abuja? It is not by running around in the streets. Yes, it is not by running around in the streets. Yes, when you run around in the streets, sometimes some of our people are kind of more interested in the noise that we can share on social media. So, when we see good number of people on the streets and we snap it, yes, we snap it, we video them, they will know that, oh, this thing is tough. That's not when it is tough. When it is tough, is when you are able to get the point that pains the enemy the most. And where is that particular point that pains the enemy the most? Is the economy. To you, it's just one day, but to them, it's lots of money. 1 hour is lots of money to them. You say you want to punish the police for all the crimes they've been doing to you. It's not even by killing them. Deny them of that opportunity to steal from you. Because when you come out of your street, you will enter a vehicle. That commercial driver will drive you. He will settle police. Police are everywhere in Biafra land. Every junction, they are there to take bribes. Now the military has joined them, army, navy, and all that. They are in Biafra land everywhere taking bribes. When you don't come out, when everybody is inside their houses, for that day, police will not make money on your head. Do not think that money is only coming from the commercial driver. You are paying. If there were no police on the streets collecting money from commercial drivers, the transport you pay will be lesser than what you pay. When the drivers charge you, is locally called Kbaud. And people that will still collect tax from them. All these things make up the amount that you pay for transportation. So do not think, oh, I'm just paying transport. You are as well settling the police. And the police will continue to intimidate you. When you stay in your houses every Monday, the rest of the days you can settle them, no problem. But that one day that they don't get it from you, they will feel it. That is just the police. That is just those on the streets, like I said earlier, that do not actually have an influence to the system. Even though many of them have become corrupt by the system and they are very wicked, they are the ones, they are the foot soldiers, they are the ones that are being used to kill our people on a daily basis. But even if you kill one, they will replace another. That doesn't mean that I am by any means condemning what the unknown government are doing. They are doing their own thing. That is what they know. That is how they know what and how they can do what they do. That is their own thing. But there is always a better way, and the better way is what we're talking about. Our people must understand that when you sit at home, you are frustrating the system that has been frustrating you. You come out every day, you meet the same frustration every day. There are no good roads for you to go to that shop that you are always going to make money. Every day you go out for business, you go to work, but the Fulani herdsmen are not being stopped, if not by ACN. Nobody is doing anything. The governors, their mouths are still widely open against you. The best way is civil disobedience. And you must understand that every freedom fighting is unique. Every agitation is unique. Why? Because the enemies are different. The enemies have different strategies in the way that they oppress the people. The enemies are different, so you may not compare the Biafran freedom movement to any other in the world or any other in history. There might be some that are similar, but there is none that is exactly what we are facing. You must understand that economy is number one interest of all those that are oppressing us. Is it Britain? Is it the zoo called Nigeria? Economic activity is their number one interest. If we can continually affect economic activity, then we are on the right track. What would you say if we can affect the economic activity of Nigeria without putting you to danger? When you destroy INEC offices, police stations, and all of that, all these things do not affect the economy. It doesn't affect the economy of the zoo. All those places will be rebuilt. The money that will be used to rebuild those places sometimes are made from 1 hour of your economic activities. Do not forget that when there is total lockdown, the banks will also be locked down. If the banks in a particular state, just one state, are locked down, the economy of the zoo will be affected. Bank transactions and all of that adds a lot to the economy of the zoo. For one day, all these things will be shut down. Some people are asking, how can this affect them? How? You are saying how because you do not understand how these things operate. In your mind, you think it doesn't affect them. No, it does. It does. Why do you think anytime, any single time there is sit at home order by our leader, why is it that the enemies keep on reacting? They keep on reacting and they try as much as possible to ensure that you do not obey it. Have you asked yourself why? Why are they always doing that? Why? Why are they always trying to ensure that you do not obey the order? Why are they threatening that if you obey it, they are going to do this, they are going to do that, just as Wike threatened people the last time in Iguacha, and some people cowered away, and they did not obey it, even though many others obeyed. Some people, out of fear, if I obey it, they are going to say that I am a member of IPOB. Let them not say I'm a member of IPOB. Let them not come and shut down my business. So I will not obey it. Out of fear. In Iguacha. But Iguacha still obeyed. Iguacha still complied. Though not in the magnitude as it was expected. Why do you think they threaten? Why do you think they threaten? You think they threaten for nothing? Do you think they threaten because they care for you? They don't care for you. They don't care about you. If they do, they would have stopped Fulani herdsmen invasion for a long time. In fact, if they do, they would have been at the forefront of this struggle. If they do, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would not have been where he is today. They do not care. They know that the only person that is speaking for the people is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they are happy where he is. So you have to understand this game. You have to understand what is affecting these people the most. When you come out and you protest, they also come out and they shoot you. Do they complain about it? Do they complain about those protesting? No, because that doesn't affect them. Business is still going on. Money is still coming in. You must understand that the zoo is all about money. The zoo called Nigeria was designed for money. It was created for money, for the purpose of money. And until we are able to defeat money, we cannot defeat the zoo. Until we are able to defeat money, if it is to go hungry, we must learn to be hungry so that our enemies will understand what it means to be hungry. We must frustrate the system. How can you frustrate the system? The best way to frustrate the system is to stay in your houses and do nothing. When you come out to do anything, they will look out for you to kill you. Yes, we have ESN, but it is better for ESN to face them where there will be no civilian during the war of genocide. Ojukwu decided that the civilians in the coastlines of Biafra should be moved from that area and be taken to the hinterland while the area is fully taken over by soldiers, by Biafran soldiers, so that the soldiers can face soldiers, because the coastlines of Biafra were the target. That was the battleground. The coastlines of Biafra was battleground for almost 2 years during that war. But our foolish people did not understand. It touches the military. The enemy do not care what they were doing then. It was a genocide. Nigeria was after killing every for one. It was a strategy. So when that strategy was to be put in place and for people to be moved from their communities to the hinterland that was peaceful at the time, the people started fighting the soldiers. They started fighting back. Why were you fighting? They were fighting back. Why? Because they had listened to the Nigeria story, to the Nigeria part of that story. They have listened to BBC that told them that, oh, the reason they are taking you out of your communities is because they want to take over your communities, so that at the end of the war, you will have to stay in the hinterland and they will have to stay in your communities. Your communities will now become theirs. Because they have interest in the oil, they want to control the oil, your community will now become their community. Are you seeing the lies from the Nigerian media? Come on. Sometimes, to be candid with you, I don't entirely blame those people that fell for those lies. It was too enticing. The lies looked so real. It looked so real, as if, wow, are you sure this is not what these people actually want to do to us? But my problem is those people that still believe those lies after 50 years. And you have seen that the people that told you that your own brothers want your oil. Meanwhile, in their own place, they have oil. And these enemies that don't have anything are telling you that people that have oil with you want your oil. And you believe them, you believe the enemies instead of believing your brother. At the end of the day, the enemies have it all. They are the ones that truly wanted the oil. But they turned the table upside down so that you will be confused. It is the same thing for today. People want action to be done. They want things to happen. Shut down the road, shut down this and all that. The best way to shut down is to shut down economic activities. Shut down everything. Let everything shut down. How do you make everything to shut down? Is for you to remain in your houses. Don't go anywhere that day. For the few stubborn ones, of course, they'll be dealt with. Because when you come out on that day, it means that you have come out for an open confrontation. You are actually telling the world that you do not care about the sacrifice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You don't care what happens to him. You do not care whether he dies or he lives. You don't care what the DSS does to him. You don't care what Nigeria will do to him. You don't care what Britain has been planning against him. You do not care. When you come out on that day, that is what you're saying. And we will tell you that we care. At least ESN is there to enforce it. So our people must be very tactical and our people must be wise. You must be wise, you must be smart. I repeat, you must be wise, you must be smart. When you sit at home, the economy of the zoo is greatly affected. You must understand that among the geopolitical zones that contribute to the economy of the zoo, Biafra is number one. When you put South and Southeast together, Biafra land is number one. When you want to put it according to Nigeria's description of geopolitical zones, South is one, because oil is the mainstay of Nigeria's economy. South is number one. Then between Southeast and Southwest, I think there is competition. I'm not so sure which is second and which is third. Southwest because of Lagos and maybe Ogun State and all of that, because of some investments in those states, are mostly Lagos. Southwest is on that list mostly because of Lagos, because Lagos is mostly empowered by Biafrans. Then before the Southeast. Southeast is among those that contribute a very large quota. Now, when we are talking about that large quota of contribution, it is not just oil in the Southeast. It is mostly about trade. So when you think that you that is a businessman that sitting at home is not going to affect the Nigeria's GDP or the Nigeria economy, sorry, you're mistaken. It will affect it adversely. And when you're talking about Biafra land is the economic hub of the zoo called Nigeria. Biafra land is the engine That is the reason they do not want us to be free. That is the reason Britain do not want us to be free. Why? Britain do not want to bargain with Biafrans for Biafra wealth. They want to bargain with people that do not own the wealth or do not have the intellect, so that those people can give it to them free or almost free, which is Fulani. Fulani land is desert. Of course, there is no Fulani land, Hausa land. And Fulani people have made the Hausa people useless to themselves in such a way that they are practically giving nothing to the system. In fact, Fulani, all the things that you contribute when you pay all your tax, you go to trade, you do all those things, you pay all your tax, and everything goes to Nigeria's economy. Fulani will still put hand in that economy out of your misery, out of your sufferings, out of your hard labor. Every day, Fulani will put hand there and still give freely to their traders. They will still give it freely to their farmers. That is what you're working for. When you go to do that your business and at the end of the day you pay your tax, what you are doing, you are giving Fulani. You are making life easier for them. They have more money to spend. They have more money to bribe all those politicians that will still come back to oppress you. So when you give one day, just one day, then you are going to see how much it is going to affect these people. They will be running helter-skelter, looking for a solution. Just watch out. You think this is nothing? Just obey. You will see how these people are running helter-skelter, looking for a solution, how they are going to be able to convince people not to obey the order. But they are not going to succeed. They are definitely not going to succeed. When Martin Luther King Jr. was agitating for the rights of black people in the United States of America, black people together boycotted buses. Black people boycotted buses. Now, remember I told you that every freedom movement is unique. And those who seek freedom must look at where it hurts the enemy the most. Everybody had to start trekking. Why were they trekking? When they enter these vehicles, they will still have to stand for the next white man that comes in, because they are not good enough to sit down in a vehicle where a white man will be standing. So the black people had to boycott buses. Everywhere they want to go to, no matter how far it was, they trekked. You will see black people all over the streets of the United States of America. They were trekking. It was a sacrifice. They had to trek. Black people did not have the markets like we do in Biafra land. If they had this opportunity that we had, of course they would have shut down. I know the way they were determined, the way black people were determined, the way they fought strongly side by side with Martin Luther King Jr. If you had asked them to shut down for a whole 1 month, sit at home and look for a way to feed whatever, however, they would have obeyed. But all we are asking you is a day in a week. You still have the rest of your week to make your money. One day is not going to kill you. One day in the week is not going to kill you. You will still make your money. You cannot tell me that because of that one day that you did not have your business, that your business is going to crash. No, your business is not going to crash because your customers will also not come. So what are you coming out to do? Your customers will be sitting in their houses. There will be no customers. So there's no need to come. Those your customers will still keep their monies. They will come on Tuesday and they will buy the same goods from you. So when you're selling, when you finish selling for the week, keep enough for you and your family to feed till Monday, so that on Tuesday work can continue as usual. This is a very simple thing. It's a very simple adjustment. It is not something that should call for unnecessary cries. I must tell you the truth. It's a very, very simple adjustment that our people can do. It is very simple. But even though it is this simple, just as it was simple for the general to obey the prophet and go and wash himself, that is how simple this is for you to sit in your houses. We have not asked you to go and pick up guns and face the Nigerian army. If we had asked you to do that, you would have said that that is difficult. That you are not trained, you're not ESN, you're not trained to do that. What we are asking you is to sit at home. It is not too much. And staying in your houses for a day in a week will not make you go hungry. Anybody trying to pass that idea that when people stay at home for a day, that they are going to be hungry, it's a lie. It's a very big lie. That when people stay at home, they are going to be hungry and they'll start looking for food. It's a lie. During the lockdown, how long did you stay in your houses? Not one day, not 2 days, not even a week. You stayed in your houses. People, billionaires, and all of that donated money to ensure that food gets to you. Did you receive them? Did you receive those gifts? These people still locked those gifts up. Gifts that people, hardworking citizens, brought out. They brought out these gifts. They brought out their hard-earned money. This is not government money. Hard-earned money. Individuals from within the zoo and without brought out money and say that these people should not go hungry. People should eat. This thing should be shared. People should eat. People should not go hungry. Did you receive it? Of course you didn't. The only one you received was the one that was sent by our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That was the only one you received. True or false? In Biafra land, you didn't receive anything. In the north, they even still tried. They gave some people some little things, even though it is not as much as they received. There were still some little distribution. Even in the west, very, very little. Very, very little distribution. In Biafra land, you saw absolutely nothing. Nothing. You saw nothing. So why complain? Or why listen to those that complain? We have to be smart. This directive by the Directorate of State is a smart one. And it is very important that we all take advice and follow up. because this is a smart one. More instructions will be coming. More of it will be coming from the Directorate of State. If they continue to keep our leader, more instructions will be coming and more things will happen. But what you have to do as Biafrans is very simple. You have to obey. You have to work with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because the DOS was set up by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Working with the DOS is working with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have to work together to be able to free our people, to be able to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from the DSS dungeon. At this moment, I will be opening the lines, and I want to make it very clear. After now, from my next broadcast, this line will change. So those that will be calling today will call the same line that I've been using, but I'm going to change this line for some reasons. I will change this line and I'll give you another line to call. So do not, you have to follow up. You have to follow up the broadcast. On the next one, you have to follow up the broadcast so that you'll be able to know the actual line to call and follow up. Okay? So the lines are open. If you know the line, you can call immediately. And I will be calling out the line for those that are just coming, listening to this broadcast for the first time, that do not know the number to call. The number to call is +48 579 201 506. +48 579 201 506. I repeat, +48 579 201 506. This is the number to call, and the lines are open. You can call in, you can give your contributions, you can give your advice, you can say your opinions, you can ask your questions if you have one, and we are going to be here to listen to all you have to say, and we'll move on. So the lines are open. I noticed there is somebody that sent me a message. I've accepted you. So if you want to call, the lines are open for you to call. So while we wait for our callers to call in and give their contributions, okay, let us pick this call. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Ghost. Your name and where you're calling from? Hello, your voice is very low. Can you hear me? Hello? I think you're having a network problem. Maybe you shift from where you are, go to a place where the network is better, because we cannot hear you. I will have to hang up, and when your network is better, you can call again. Sorry about that, but you have to go to where the network is better for you to be able to, for us to be able to hear you. It seems like from where he is, the network is not good enough, or whether he's using a device or something that is affecting his voice. So as I was saying, we'll keep on moving. Okay. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra. Is your network okay now? Can you speak? Hello, are you Your voice is not clear. Or are you using earpiece? Maybe you can remove it and try. Okay. People are calling. If you're calling, you can continue to call. Continue to call, and we'll be here to receive your calls. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. Good afternoon from. Good afternoon from here.
You're welcome. The world is listening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good afternoon from here.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you. We can hear you clearly. Can you hear me? Oh, now this one, we can hear him, but he cannot hear us. Still similar challenge, I guess. The lines are open. If you're calling for the first time, know that I will accept you. Then you can call again. Okay? And those that have called, I have accepted. So you just have to call back for you to get in. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Yes, hope you can hear me now.
Good morning. My name is Nanyara and I is calling from Russia.
Yes, go ahead, my brother. The world is listening.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very, very clearly.
Thank you for the good work that you are doing, and God bless you. I greet our leader, my leader, the savior of our time. What I want to contribute is this. We are happy with the seat at home. Since all this while we have been doing business. We see how everything is going, that contraction called zoo. This is freedom. When we get our freedom, there will be more business, more profit. Everything will be okay. So this sit at home cannot disturb us, not to coordinate ourselves and obey our DOS. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody should obey it and sit at home and prepare very well so that they can release our leader. Our leader is offering there because of us. I don't see how this thing is very difficult for people to understand. Some people are complaining. What are they complaining for? You will import goods, they will seize it in Tapapa. When they see your name, they write it anything, Igbo name, anything, Southeast name, they will seize it, they will delay it. You make the business, there is no profit. Many people that they have seized their goods is the part of the hatred that they hate from for all we Biafrans. So everybody should sit at home, stop complaining. And if you decide not to sit at home, if you come outside, anything that you see, you take it like that, because you people don't normally hear things at all. Sit at home, prepare yourself and sit at home, obey the order. That is where we can free from this zoological republic and get our freedom. This is the time is now. Everybody should sit at home and obey the order. Thank you very much, my African rep. Thank you, and keep on the good work that you are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. God bless you. That is a wonderful contribution. The order is simple. Sit at home. Sit at home is very, very simple. Sit at home and let us prostrate the zoo with our silence. Let us frustrate our enemy with our silence. It is very simple. All you need to frustrate the enemy, to frustrate the economy of the zoo, is to sit at home. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from. Biafrans are listening.
My name is Wazan. I'm calling from Italy. Many things has been happening, and it's like we ladies, some of us, we are not very active. You know, women how we are, but I'm sorry for that. I want to say something because I was talking to one of my sisters that got married to Ebonyi State. All these things that are happening, I will say sometimes we are the cause of it, even our fathers. I heard that in Afikpo North, there's a state there, there's a local government there. Cow meat is prohibited. You can't even kill cow meat there. I don't know why other Eastern regions have not taken that restriction. Because it's like we are giving all these Fulanis, we are giving them the privilege now to come into our land in the name of their doing business. Why can't we take that work? Because if that Afikpo not can up to now, no cow meat can be sold in the market except goat meat or ehi. Why can't we just establish that same law in other Eastern region? Because they're improving, they're killing us, and we are the one buying their meat. The so-called frustrated meat. I don't know what is happening. We are ladies, we cannot do anything. But I believe if that law is still existing in Africa or not in Ebonyi State, why can't that law establish? Because we are giving them we give them the key to open our door. So our leader is there now. Every day we are crying. I can't even eat. I can't even sleep. It's like we are keeping quiet and nothing is happening. And now people are saying that 9 of August is too far. We have not seen our leader. I don't know. Men should wake up and do something. Even though women will do what we can. Even here, I'm a gospel artist. I do protest in anywhere, in any church I go. I will protest before singing. I will do my own protest. I don't know where we are here in the Western world. The law here works, but in that Zulu country, the law is not working. Because me supporting Biafra is not just I just want to Kano. I started supporting Biafra from childhood. My father taught me the history of Biafra. I'm sorry for those people that don't know the history because your dad did not tell you any, which means you don't listen to your father, or you're not close to your father, or your father don't know history. Because many of them want to up to date, don't know the history of Biafra. Me, when I was growing up, they would call us at the wrong circles in the night, and they would tell us the history, even the Biafra war. So we grew up with that mentality. My father never called Nigeria once before he died. From his mouth, he always calls Biafra. So I grew up with that knowledge, with that mentality. So if you're not supporting Biafra, I don't know. I'm sorry, you're not from Igbo land or your lineage. I can't even. I'm not insulting you. I'm sorry. You did not. Your father did not tell you any history, or you're far from history. But we all need to wake up now and do the needful. I'm so sorry. It's like some of us, we are sleeping, but you cannot blame any people are afraid of their life. But anytime, yesterday there was a program Italian put in their television, Mandela. I was watching that film yesterday. If this Western world can be putting this thing, I just heard even they proscribe him as a terrorist. I was watching that program yesterday. They put it in the Italian television, Mandela, and I saw it exactly what is happening now. Why can't we wake up? Why are we afraid? Why are we afraid? We are all afraid. And some people will not support our leader in the name of the house in Abuja. I was talking to one of our brothers. The house, he said this. I said, you shut down your dirty mouth. What type of house do you have there? You have houses. We all have houses in Europe. Are we crying? But we are fighting for our Biafra land. You that have house in Abuja, you're crying that this Biafra is going to spoil your business. This is what is killing us. We are the one killing ourselves. I'm sorry to say it. We are the one killing ourselves. Except we need to let the bear out from the cat from where he's hiding. Our problem can never be solved. And let's take this thing. If that law is existing in Africa, not today, that same law can exist in other eastern regions in Nigeria. That's what the Igbo land and the Biafra land. Let's try to enforce that law. No cow meat will be sold in the market, and nobody should kill cow meat except Igbo and goats and chicken. That's why it's in the Africa not. Go and inquire, it's still existing. Even the time before you enter the local government, it's written and they run. Cow meat prohibited, and it can never be sold. So let's try to do the needful to secure our land and secure our future and our new generation. Thank you all.
Thank you very, very much. Wow. That was a very nice one. I must confess, that was a very nice one from that powerful woman. You know, our mothers, Biafra is motherland, and most of the times our mothers take the lead. That is very, very nice, I must say, and I believe the leadership is listening. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from?
My leader, I'm calling for my location.